Hello, Leo, and welcome to your January 2026 forecast. I'm Nicholas Ashbaugh. Good to see everybody. We have Apollo holding some space for us in the background, but we have a lot to talk about, so why don't we get straight into your channeled messages? The first thing that came through in dreams and meditation this morning was an image of a printer, like a modern printer, but I was watching someone carry it around and follow someone. And what I intuited from this is that it's really important to get things in writing, to record your ideas if you're brainstorming, but more importantly, if there's an agreement or a promise that someone's putting forth, get that signature on the dotted line, get everything recorded and make sure that you're okay with that. Because otherwise, people may simply try to pass it off as, oh, well, we kind of talked about it, but we didn't agree about this. So make sure that when things come to a conclusion that you've summarized it and you get sign off when and if necessary. The other message that came through loud and clear was, we're in a point in time where there's no more reruns. I kept seeing someone trying to hit the rewind button or go backwards, but it was blocked. And it's because there's no more time to kind of like regurgitate or relive an old cycle or memory in this moment in time. There's a lot of opportunity for development and movement and expansion in January. And so if you've done everything that you needed to do in a certain opportunity or environment, it's time to release that. If there's a relationship that you've outgrown, it's also time to release that. This is a moment and an opportunity to really capitalize on forward momentum. The final message that came forth was one of mental clarity. I even got the word sobriety. So for some of you, you may be releasing things in your life that kind of fog up your mental acuity. This might be like smoking, alcohol, etc. But it could also be even like environments that are either distracting or toxic, or even relationships where people come through and they kind of get in your headspace and it doesn't allow you to focus. Your mental acuity and your crystal clarity in what it is that you're trying to accomplish, this is also going to be very important in making sure that you're manifesting in a way that is untethered and unblocked. Because if you start to have doubt or lack of focus coming forth, this can also inhibit your ability to really go into the expansive energy that is January. So that's a common theme that I really want, in particular for your sign, for you to be able to hit the ground running, because I feel like January is just going to go by like that. With that being said, let's shuffle the cards and take a look at everything. And if you missed the very beginning, I'm also going to put a quarterly forecast at the end. So we'll pull 4 cards to look at the 4 quarters of next year. That means that I'll slightly trim up the expanded forecast just to keep this in a digestible format, but you'll get everything you need, I promise. Let's begin. All right, please take a moment, close your eyes. Let go of any pre-existing thoughts that you might be bringing into this reading. Imagine instead that the sun is shining overhead, you're connected to Source, and in this circle of light, let's bring in angels, spirit guides, and ascended masters. Zoom out just a little bit. It's better. Okay. All right, let's get started with the catalyst. The message on this card is really about empathy and righting wrongs. It says, turn towards the shared suffering of all sentient beings. So awareness, being aware of how other people are feeling, what they're going through, that maybe not everyone has the same support or privilege that you might have in your life. Now, I would take this a step further, and the question is, what does that inspire within? Does it make you want to change the world or reach out to someone that might be in pain or understand what's going on more? It's a catalyst, so you get to decide what to do with it. But there's an awareness in this card, which is other people may be going through a moment. It could just be the empathy to understand why someone around you could be in a bad mood. So tune in for a second and ask yourself, is it really me? Is this because of me, or is there something else, environmental or internal, that person might be going through? This can save you so much time and turmoil and difficulty, because if you can get past how you feel when something goes on around you and say, wait a second, truly, how is that person doing? How are you doing? What's going on? Can I help? How can I help? That can actually help take a situation that might be challenging and then neutralize it and bring it to a nice central place where the person feels seen. So I really feel that that's what this is about. Understanding that others might be suffering just like you. Understanding that their behavior, while it may not be, acceptable or perfect, might not be at all related to you. It might be because of something external. So slow down, tune in, and ask, what's going on? Because we don't get that question too often. People always are kind of like in their own path, doing other things. And if something is unusual behavior-wise, sometimes it's good to just say, this is unlike you. Are you okay? Can I help? Is there anything else that I need to know about? And then just pause and let them lead the path from there, okay? But some of you may be getting more involved in activism, in trying to change the world for the better, and we need people like that right now too, so good for you. All right, as we take a look at this spread, I quite like that we have the Lovers in the deep past. That's a beautiful energy. We have bookends between the World and the Fool, coming through in Hope Spheres, and then also Outcomes. So it looks really good. There may be a couple of cards in between that we need to address. There's some reversals, but mostly good energy. So let's take it step by step. Beginning with the upright Ace of Wands, smack dab in the center. This Ace of Wands says spark of life as its sort of like descriptor. And this is about like an intuition, a light bulb moment. It can be a mutual spark between you and someone else, particularly since we have this beautiful energy in the deep past. So there might be something that's leveling up because you're feeling it now. You're like, oh, I'm engaged. I feel the passion. So for your career, for something that you're studying at work, or for a relationship, I'm picking up on a spark here. If you've been lacking momentum, if you've been lacking vitality, things are starting to shift a little bit in January. You have a chance now to rekindle or reignite and even reclaim that lost passion or that lost power. It was not ever really lost. It just was something that maybe you were distracted by something else in the exterior, and now you can focus. We also are looking at, it almost reminds me of a violin, even though it's a bow and an arrow. So there could be a great creative renaissance with you. So for those of you that are writers, painters, creators of any sort, this is a time to really lean into that and start putting it to paper. Remember what I said, get it in writing, record your ideas. Every night, even if I'm really tired and I get a great idea at like 2 a.m, I will dictate it into my phone or like tap it into the notes app and then go back to sleep. Because when the muse comes through, when that inspiration comes, make sure that you don't lose track of it. All right, crossing this card, we have the King of Swords coming through, reminding you of the importance of taking action, using your voice, communicating. This is actually your strong point this month. Lean into it. But know this, people will pay attention to what you said you were going to do, and if you actually follow through. So the most important thing is to keep yourself accountable, to be honest with yourself and others. And if you can walk the walk and talk the talk, this can be quite an amazing month for you. I was talking about the creative energy. This is connected with writing, public speaking, and leadership. So this is a great time for all of that. Lean into it, folks. As we take a look here at the deep past, I'm quite heartened to see the Lovers coming through. This represents the work that you've done. You've made an impact with people. Even if it isn't like in a love relationship or whatnot, this can represent the fact that people feel like you have their back, that they feel seen with you. So continue to focus on developing all types of relationships. Friendship, yes, love interests, but also this can be family, this can be coworkers, this can be the community at large. This shows me that you are loved. even if you're not in that sort of, traditional lover's relationship. Love comes in many forms. Continue to lean into this and know this. You're not alone. And if you feel alone, this is a great time for more outreach, whether it's in extracurricular activities, I talked about outreach when it comes to making a difference in the world. So it could also be special causes that you want to get behind. You might meet like-minded people that share this sort of passion for life. And that actually can connect you to what we see in this card. Don't underestimate your value or the impact that you have made. It's coming through loud and clear here. In the recent past here, we show a card here that is basically indicative of hard work. 9 of Pentacles. It takes time to get there. This one actually has the word tradition on it. Some of you might have created this routine that has really paid off, whether it's a routine to get healthier or to create more abundance in your life or just to create some progress. Lean into that. What I do see with this card reversed, however, is a wish that it could work or move a little bit quicker. And anything worth doing is worth doing right the first time. Take your time. If we look at the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith card, this is why I'm encouraging that. Yes, we have that little snail at the corner, which represents slow, steady progress. But we also have all of the abundance, all of the lush greenery, the grapes, the pentacles all around her, saying, this is why I'm working so hard. So you might just need a moment to kind of clock back in and say, I'm a little tired. I wish this was done, but there's a reason, there's a purpose. And when you keep your eyes on the horizon, everything comes into focus and you find that momentum and that motivation again. In the crowning position, we have one of the fastest moving cards in the Minor Arcana. It is the Knight of Swords. The hawk here is really important because it's about sharpening your goal, your vision, and your communication. All of these things can help speed up the progress. Now, I like to sometimes intersperse other versions of the card. Here we can see just how quickly things can take off. If you have your clarity, remember I was talking about the mental clarity? This is what helps. When you're clear and you communicate well, other people are ready to line up and the action just takes off. And also, so your center card was also the King of Swords. So if we put these two together, the King of Swords is the king of the mountain in this particular deck, and he's making sure that each form of communication is aligned to the right audience. All the different flying creatures represent the different ways that you want to communicate. So when you're talking to different people, make sure that it's in the language, the tone, the time that best suits them. And then lo and behold, things will just move much, much faster than you think. Really keep an eye on the details, because sometimes when you're in the middle of launching something or doing something, you're hitting send, you're sending it out there faster than you realize. This is saying get one more set of eyes on it before pressing send. I can't tell you how many times, whether it's a text message or an email, that you just wish you could unsend. You can edit nowadays mostly in text, and sometimes you can unsend an email, but we don't want to rely on those because it doesn't work on every platform. And sometimes with the editing, people can still see the error. So try to get it right the first time and slow down just a little bit. I already see the speed there and it's in the perfect position here, but it feels like your mind might be working one step too fast. Let your feet catch up. And sometimes with this card, I would ask, what's the hurry? You've got the speed, you've got the map. Just make sure that you're being careful and mindful along the way. We have 2 cards coming through here in the near future. They're both reversed. Let's talk about it. So I'm going to start with the first of the 2. Love this because it's an echo of this. So we have the Lovers in the deep past. Now we have 2 of Cups in reverse. And this one is about mutual attraction. You either feel it or you don't. Thankfully, at the center, I see a card of attraction. This is literally something that represents love and passion. And when you're looking for love, you want to have like that Ace of Wands somewhere in the spread. But with the reversal here, there may be an internal fear or question, like you find someone else attractive, but you may not have fully sort of accepted and loved yourself. So there may be this feeling of, are we in different leagues? Are they going to like me? Let's release that. Let them show you. Although I will say this, if they're not demonstrating mutual attraction, let it be. So be it rather. But don't let your own sort of fears get in the way. So signals should be clear, but doubt within could hold you back from reading the signals clearly. So if someone's interested, embrace. If someone isn't, don't take it personally. and don't take it to heart too much. We want there to be mutual attraction. This includes in all levels of engagement. So whether it's a job, a friendship, definitely a love relationship, anything where something's at stake and you've got two people that are working together or partnered together, we want to make sure that it's equal, at least as close to equal as possible. This is also a time where you may need to lean on someone. The Two of Cups in reverse can just be saying, I could use some support. Can I give you a call? Do you have some time? Can we grab a bite to eat? So if you have that network, which it looks like some of you do, this could be a time to capitalize on some of the goodwill that you've put forth. If you're always listening to someone else, if you're always answering the phone, don't be afraid to be the one that initiates and say, hey, I could use a friend today. Beneath that card, we had the Archer, number 7, aka the Chariot. In this deck, it's an archer, literally, so this could be like a Sagittarius in your life. This can also indicate, are you both focused on the same target or goal? Because a chariot has 2 horses or 2 sphinxes, and basically if these are pulling the chariot in different directions, it's not going to go anywhere. It's going to wobble or it's going to be torn into pieces. So we need to have people on the same page, a similar goal or interest, and communication. And with the Chariot in reverse, it can also be someone that's trying to challenge your thoughts, your vision of what is possible or what the next step is. So in relationships, if we pull these 2 cards together, it's an interesting message because, first of all, there could just be a Sagittarius coming into your life, plain and simple. There could also be someone in your life that wants you to step into the power position. Tell me what you want. Are you ready? Or they know what they want and they're asking you, do you want the same thing? So for some of you, this is just decision time. Are we on the same page? Are we ready to level up? And that's something that you'll have to kind of weigh out. But what I see in the deep past is there's a lot of love there. So don't be afraid if everything is leading you to this moment, okay? Let's look at you right now. Pretty good card, actually. So we have the 7 of Wands. This comes right on the heels of success. And it's interesting that this message on this particular version of the card says clearance. I really wouldn't read it as that normally. But what I think of the 7 of Wands as being is working smarter, not harder. Maybe you're clearing out things that aren't worth your time. So I can see that perspective here. There's also usually a defensive stance in the card. So let's look at the traditional card for a second. Here you go. Here is your Rider-Waite-Smith card. We can see someone here who is dealing with the scrutiny and the attention that comes on the heels of success. When you do a good job, when things are going well, sometimes people double down and they're like, wait, you can handle this? How about this and this and this? And it's important when this happens to basically say, hold on a second. First of all, thank you. I can help with this, but in order to do this, I'll need some additional help. Or maybe you're clearing something off of your plate. Okay, you need to take 2 or 3 items away because this is going to take some time. Fight for what matters. Don't get into that energy of feeling overwhelmed like we see there. Instead, be confident, be clear. Maybe that's what the clearance is. Be clear and, again, push out stuff that isn't worth your time and energy. And there might be some things that are worth fighting for, and this is a really good card when it comes to defense. Get your information lined up, stay calm, push back, hold the boundary or hold the sort of line where whatever it is that you want or don't want, and know that that strength and that clarity is going to usually be enough to get the other person to back down. All right, before we move on to the environment, Apollo's back. Let's give him a pat on the head. Hey, buddy. Who's a good boy? Yes. All right, sorry, could not resist. Okay, going to the environment, we have Queen of Pentacles. Love this card. So she's kind of in a protective stance here. This can be someone around you that is having a hard time giving what you're giving. This is possibly why that 2 of Cups card was reversed. They're territorial, protective. But when we look at this and we pair it with the empathy card, it could be simply because in the past, their best interest wasn't always protected. Someone might have taken something without asking. So instead of leading with trust and communication, they just get protective, territorial, and sometimes end up isolating themselves. So if there's a family member, a coworker, a friend in your life that just has this habit of kind of growling or barking and not letting people in, remind them, hey, I'm not even trying, like, you're good. That's your thing. You do your thing. I'm just asking if you need some help or whatever it is. I'm just checking in. So I feel like there could be someone in your life that's a little territorial. The other thing with this is it's important to ask for what it is that you deserve, because what we see also with this is plenty of takers, plenty of people around you that are making sure that they get what they need. This can be a card of self-nurturing and self-development. So make sure that you're doing that for yourself and advocating for your value and worth. Now let's take a look at hopes, fears, and opportunities. Well, I mean, these two really tell a story, but we'll start off with this. So we have the World card in the reverse position. Things are happening a little bit faster than you'd like, or you might be afraid that things are going too quickly. To everything, there is a season, and this is your chance to really grow and expand. You can't hold back progress or development, and it feels like you're just being nudged ever so gently out of the nest. It's like a mama bird saying, you can do this. In fact, this is typically a card of motherhood, pregnancy, or delivering or launching, and it feels like you might be holding on to something too long too. In that case, this card is saying, don't be afraid. These are just basically ends and beginnings. So this is the end, and then it segues back to the beginning here, the Wanderer. So as long as this is what you've been working up to, you're not lost, you're found. This isn't an end. It's just a chance for you to explore new things. And this can be a card of exploration, the Fool. So what I think could be really effective as you're sitting here on the precipice, for those of you that are watching this when it's posted, of a new year, even if you're watching it any time in January, it's fine. Ask yourself what's beyond the current goal. So sometimes we fix a goal on like graduation. Okay, well, what's the job? What's the next step in my life going to look like? Sometimes we try to have a relationship or a family. Okay, I've got that. What does that lead to? And we kind of look 2 or 3 steps down the line, kind of like you're playing a game of chess, getting strategic so that everything can align. And also, life is more fun when there's a series of goals, because then you don't kind of get in your headspace too much when you've accomplished one already, okay? This can also represent a move, a change in status. So going from unemployed to employed, going from engaged to married, or married to divorced. Something about the status is changing, but it is ostensibly for the better. And you are stepping into an ambiguous or unknown period. Just take it a step at a time. And also with the Fool in reverse, sometimes we take a couple of steps in the right direction and then 1 step back, but it's still progress. And this is kind of like a reminder from Spirit to breathe and to just take it a day at a time, a step at a time, a lesson at a time. And also, everything begins with 1 step. You do not have to build everything overnight. This isn't Jack and the Beanstalk. So 1 step at a time, brick by brick, you're going to create that foundation, and then that's going to be something that is sustainable, strong, and that you can trust. All right, let's go ahead now and take a look at an expanded forecast, including health, wealth, love, and destiny. We're going to go briefly into these because I'm also going to do a 4-quarter forecast for the new year. We'll start off, as always, with health, which is your mind, body, and spirit. Beautiful message coming through for health. Learn to trust yourself. I release the need to know all the answers, and thus I'm not going to give power to doubt. Because we're in the energy of health, if there's something where you need more information, one way to overcome doubt is research. Get a second opinion. Learn a little bit more. Don't go into a procedure or into anything with respect to your health without fully feeling like you've vetted all the choices and you understand the pros and the cons. So get everything on paper, ask your questions, get a second or third opinion, and absolutely listen to the doubt, but don't live kind of like solely with the fear of the doubt. You can learn what your options are and educate yourself with respect to that. All right, let's look at some other things with respect to all of the health messages this month. Okay, relationships are kind of a central theme here. We see them repeating, but the important thing here is, are they distracting or are they elevating? So if you feel like there's too much going on in a relationship, the person's going in a different direction than you may have to communicate boundaries, needs, and expectations, so that you feel safe and secure. We'll look at that more in relationships, but it is coming through even in health. Pressure, family pressure, peer pressure, push back on that. Don't rush yourself. Don't rush results, especially if you're trying to overcome something, recover from something. It takes time. Throat chakra energy with all of the swords coming through. Make sure that if there's anything going on where you have like a sore throat or there's any swelling around any of the glands there, that you get that looked at as well. This is overindulgence, the Queen of Pentacles. She's in the environment, so it might be someone around you that tends to enable or encourage overindulgence. Be mindful of that and have proper boundaries with that. This card can also be overreaching or sort of like straining yourself. So if you start a new exercise routine in January, slow, steady, one step at a time. And it might just be healthy or right for you to move right about now. So if a change of environment makes you feel positive, then go for it, okay? Let's move on from health to wealth, which is your resources, your life purpose, and career. In this one, we have Making a Splash, the Whale card. The Whale card is in the reverse position. So for some of you, there is this feeling of, I'm not moving in the direction that I want. Then this is your opportunity in that case to identify, to quantify, to lay it out. It kind of goes back to all of these swords cards where I wanted to see you get it in writing. That was one of the channeled messages. I'm going to briefly go through this, just one message for each. If you're employed, lean into the power of the network. And if you don't have like a professional network, this is the time to build that. People are watching you, and in a positive way, like continue to be accountable and to walk the walk and talk the talk. You may get a new opportunity. This might be a chance for you actually to move or break through some sort of a perceived glass ceiling and actually get a promotion. The important thing here is to maintain existing relationships and network, okay? It's who you know. For those that are entrepreneurs, here's the thing. It feels like you might be courting two different audiences here. You really have to ask yourself, what is it I'm trying to do and who am I trying to reach? Because if you dilute the brand or dilute the company too much to try to appeal to everyone, it may not be as effective, whatever it is that you're trying to do. So I just see you being pulled in two different directions. Maybe there's a chance to spin off a product or a part of the company, or just to kind of prioritize and say, we're going to do this right now, and this is going to launch later. Because otherwise, I just feel like resources are being torn in two directions. You might have outgrown your current location, and it might be time to move, or you might be thinking of globalization, and gently extending and expanding. Rather than opening up 3 different offices, just try one in, a sister city or province or country, like one at a time. Don't get too lofty on expansion. Slow and steady per the 9 of Pentacles. For those of you that are seeking employment, can you find it? Yes. One thing that I'm seeing with this is 2 different remote jobs or 2 different moves. So if you're willing to look at remote locations outside of where you live, it could open something up. One that's maybe just a little further away, one that's definitely a physical move. The thing that you're going to have to fight for is your value and worth, because the job or the company that you're most likely to apply to and receive like a response, it feels like they have really tight hands on that purse. So it's important to quantify exactly why you're valuable and lay it all out when it comes to negotiation. For students, the important thing for you right now, it looks like growing your communication or language skills. Even if you are in science or medicine or some other field, it is important to have good communication. Maybe it's public speaking. Maybe it's just learning a different language so that you can be able to reach a larger audience. Focus on the communication more than you normally would. It's a great time to look at travel abroad or internship opportunities right now as well. Overall, the card spread looks pretty good. Just stay focused. That's the main message here. And for retirees, travel and relationships are the main focus. Making new friends, meeting new people, and knowing that traveling is actually a great way to do all of the aforementioned. Okay, like I said, we're not going to dig too deep into those, just enough to kind of give you a flavor for it because we have more to come in the quarterly forecast. Moving on to love and relationships. It looks good, folks. We have the hummingbird spirit, and the message on this one is joy. Also, like, drink it in. Sometimes we're so focused on the next thing that we don't get a chance to just enjoy the here and the now. For those of you that are presently partnered, it's really a question of this, the archer or the chariot. Do we want to level up? There's a chance to level up here. There's also a chance to walk in a new direction. What are you looking for mutually? If it doesn't feel like you're in alignment, it's time to move in a new direction. But if you both want to get serious, I feel like it's the perfect time to do that. Just have a conversation. Feel out the other person. I see a lot of mutual love and respect, so I feel like you're going to be in the right place no matter what. Okay? I do feel like one of you is a little more comfortable talking, so make sure that your voice is being heard if you're the one that's normally the listener, and if you're the talker, make sure that that other person gets a chance to express what they want. Starting a family might be very important here because I mentioned this can be a birthing card, so make sure that your partner's on the same page, and if not, then that's a serious topic that you want to make sure that you can come to some agreement on, okay? Single and looking, can you find someone? Yes, we have someone in the environment here, an earth sign, potentially. They're from a different site, like it's not someone that you already know. So not from the same group of friends is what I was trying to say. Could be from a different country, speaking a different language even. So if you're open to that, that's going to also open up your opportunities for love. Don't be pushy when it comes to love. That mutual spark is definitely important. It looks like it's here. You have multiple options, including air signs. They seem to be from the present and the past. Incoming is more the earth sign, okay? So yes, you have plenty of options on the table. If you're single and happy, well, then this period of time is one where you can lean into your creativity, where you can focus on travel and personal development as well, okay? Let's go ahead and look at the Destiny card here. We have Lady Venus coming through. And this card was reversed, but it reads, downloads and understanding. Truth is being revealed. Deep insights are coming from heaven and the astral realm. Venus is all about love, so there might be some of these truths coming through in relationships. Sometimes they're very welcome, and it's exactly what you want. Sometimes someone says something and it's unexpected, but allow them to speak and live in their truth. Likewise, advocate for your own. And the other thing here with the downloads and the understanding, Venus is also connected to creativity. So that spark card at the center, again, is showing that this is a really great time to learn something new, to take your creative skills and just, expand beyond your expectations. All right, now we're going to go into a quarterly forecast. The quarterly forecast will take us through 3-month periods in the year of 2026. So let's break it down. First, I'll shuffle the cards, then we'll call out each quarter. Q1, Q2, Q3, and Q4. All right. So the first quarter comprises January, February, and March. So your message here is the Three of Wands, and it reads fulfillment. What I like about this is this person's holding a bow, and they have two wands in front of them. The arrows aren't really a part of this. But the main message in this is you are the third wand. You are the one that actually is manifesting and bringing things into your life. There's another deck, the Lightseer deck, where it's a surfer, and same sort of thing. She's not waiting for the ships to come to her. She's the ship. So you're actually the initiator here. You don't have to wait for something. I love that. Back to the original sort of interpretation here. Three of Wands carries an energy of now. So if you were looking to do something, this is saying this is the right time. And it also is the number 3. So January, February, and March, you're going to see movement, development, manifestation in your goals. This is a time where travel is very much encouraged, and that connects with these two cards. So Three of Wands, World, and the Wanderer, aka the Fool, they're all connected to distant shores. So what you're looking for may not be here. That doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. It may in fact mean that in the first quarter, in January, February, and March, you're going to be looking at traveling, expanding, reaching out. There could be things coming to you from different locations and different types of people. So staying as open as possible is the most important thing here. Also, I'll pull the traditional card for a second. With the Three of Wands, if you're not looking and open to receive things from all these different directions, you could be closing off something that is better than you anticipated. So sometimes we think a certain person has to show up at a certain time, or we need to have, things done in order for something to happen. And the Three of Wands is like, no, it's right there. It's in front of you. So the ship's on the shore, and my finger was covering one of them. So this person's looking in one direction. What if he was looking here, here, or there? Like, it's all about perspective. If you're not seeing it here, keep looking, because it's somewhere. You just need to turn your attention to the right thing. So stay as open as possible. Great message for the first quarter. Moving on to the second quarter of the year, we have the Five of Swords. This one says frustration. What I like about the animal here is they're dodging all of those arrows or bullets. They're saying, you know what? Not today. And I'm going to pull the traditional card on this one. Five of Swords is often representing people around you that lack accountability. So if there's someone that doesn't want to hear what you have to say, or doesn't want to do what they're told, or can't receive criticism, don't waste your time. I think more significantly during this period of time for you, it's to avoid the inner saboteur. So here's your traditional Five of Swords. In the second quarter of the year, this card could be sitting on your shoulder saying, you're not ready, you're not good enough, you're not this enough, you're not that enough. And we're just dismissing that. I talked about that in a recent weekly collective that I did. Think of it as like a mosquito or a fly, and you're just saying, shoo, go away. You're not actually real, you're just a fear. And you're just a doubt. And we actually had that. So for some of you, this is the doubt that you're not good enough, or pretty enough, or ready enough, or smart enough, or whatever. You are. This is a fear. This is also someone that might be trying to get your energy by kind of like poking the bear. And we have the bear here. And so they know how to get under your skin. Don't let them. Okay? Now, if you are creating a company, or if you are focusing on creating better boundaries, the next card in this suit is the Six of Swords. And we have so many cards, the World and the Wanderer, that are connected with moving on. Three of Wands too. Anything that's not worth your time, this is the significant moment where it's sort of like wake up call, blinking light, move on. Six of Swords. It's actually just saying, I'm choosing to go in a new direction. This isn't worth the time. This isn't worth the energy. Whatever challenges come your way, you can dodge them, but only for a certain amount of time. It's really a wake-up call to move on from something. So have good boundaries, be ready and willing to move on when you need to. Call out any sort of nonsense when it comes to people that are kind of, just trying to create some havoc, and know that you've built so much of a strong foundation that this isn't going to get you into any sort of challenging situation. You're okay. It's frustrating, but it's manageable. Moving on to the third quarter, July, August, and September, we have the King of Wands in the upright position, very favorable. So below him, he has this sort of snake's den, but the king at the top is saying, I'm rising above. This period of time is auspicious. It's a time during which innovation is rewarded. So I really encourage you to step out of your comfort zone. If you have an idea, speak up. If there's someone that you want to have a meeting with, you can hold court. This is one of the strongest cards here. Don't be afraid to share what's on your mind. He represents innovation. He can hold his own against any challenge. It's also leaning into boss energy, second only to the Emperor card. So this is a really important time for you to set into motion what it is that you want, how you want it to be, get organized. Leadership opportunities abound, and really, really listen to your ideas and take them to the next level. Finally, in the fourth quarter, October, November, and December, we have the Empress energy. Love that we have Divine Feminine wrapping up the year ahead. She's in the upright position. This is about birthing, nurturing, creating. She's a boss. She's taking that King of Wands energy and leveling it up. And so by the end of the year, you're sitting pretty with this. And for those of you that were looking to create by this fourth quarter of the year, October, November, and December, we see that energy of launch happening. And that connects very nicely with the World and the Fool. This is your chance to step into something new. This whole month and ostensibly this whole year is about leveling up. So the question is, are you ready to level up? Because it looks like there's a lot of opportunities and not that many challenges, honestly, which is great. All right, now is your chance for one last question. Whatever you still have on your mind, go ahead, ask that to Spirit. And with this little tiny piece of table here, I'm going to pull a card and see what's coming through. So we have another Swords card coming through, upright this time, Page of Swords. Yes, the answer is yes. A Page of Swords in the upright position is affirmative, but it is saying that you may need to communicate what it is that you want, because pages do just that. You may need to get it into writing, but once you've done that, things start to go in the right direction. Again, another card connected with communication, written communication in particular. And for some of you, this could be a proposal, a curriculum. It could be also a creative sort of writing venture. Whatever this is, now is the time. So multiple cards have shown the importance of writing and getting things recorded. So pay attention if that makes sense for you. That, my friends, is everything for the first month of this new year. Thank you for being patient. If you enjoy this, please like, subscribe, leave a comment below. Keep me posted as the quarters of the year go by. Let me know what's resonating. I always read it and I always appreciate it. You can also show some love and support by becoming a sustaining member, by leaving a little sticker with your comment. These things help me basically continue to buy all the supplies that you see on the table. So thank you in advance. You can also give back with PayPal if you'd like to. The link for this is on my website, nicholasashbaugh.com. So if you need any clarification, you can go there or just look at the main channel page here on YouTube. All the official links are there as well. And I believe that's everything. Social media, also on my website, but it's always my name, Nicholas Ashbaugh, on all the major platforms. And I just want to say thank you in advance for spending some time with me, for connecting with me in all the aforementioned ways, and just for being, generally speaking, amazing. Apollo's now asleep, but let's give him one last pat on the head. Hey, buddy. Thanks for being patient. We're almost done. All right, folks. Much love and light from me to you. I hope you have a fantastic New Year's and a fantastic January. Let's keep in touch. I'm here every single Sunday at around 9:15 a.m. Pacific time. I'm also here for daily and weekly readings, so I look forward to seeing you again soon. Take care.